So I have never seen anything like this before. Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're going to play with our new engine. If you saw in the previous video, we did get a little bit distracted by the LS3 Swap P30, so we didn't really get to talk about the engine when we picked it up. So this is an M20B25, which the 25 means it's a 2.5 liter. They made a few different variants of this. They made a diesel one, they made an economy one, but this is kind of the, not performance, but just like regular engine. We're going to do a couple things to wake it up. That'll be in the next video. I've got a lot of awesome parts on order. But today we're going to kind of degrease it, make it pretty, because you guys are probably wondering, like, what is this piece of junk? Like, it kind of looks like it came from a junkyard. It did actually come from a running car. It was in a convertible, I believe, is what the guy told me that I bought it from. When it was wrecked, the car got smashed up, obviously, and totaled. That's why the engine's out of it. And some of the parts up here got smashed because it was a front end. But we did get the new parts from Ryan, which was awesome. Thank you, Ryan. So it might look a little bit ugly right now, but once we build it, get it painted, it's going to look awesome. Anyways, we're going to start tearing it down. Let's get to work. Starting at the front of the motor, I'm gonna go ahead and strip it all down. It's funny, anyone can tear a motor apart, but putting it back together is the test. I mean, anyone can take stuff apart. Yep, that was shattered in the crash. It was actually broken in a few places from the crash. It's the kind of the timing belt cover. And yep, luckily we have a new one. Another fun thing is, like, you can literally take this entire engine apart, minus like the bottom end, with a 13mm to 10mm. Alright, so about to pop the intake off. This is always kind of an interesting part because you can kind of see really what condition the motor's in. Like, you know, sometimes the intake ports will be just like crammed full of like carbon deposits and stuff. Inside the throttle body looks pretty clean, but let's see what we got. There it goes. Get this out of the way. Thermostat housing. Well, yep, that's pretty dirty. Those are nasty. We can pop the fuel rail off. We're gonna go with some bigger injectors to match our cam and other headwork. Give a little more fuel. Definitely gonna clean that out. How's our intake looking? It's actually not bad. Oh wow, the valves are actually really clean. I would say, I haven't even looked underneath the valve cover yet. I have no idea what condition this head's in, but it's clean. The cold side is clean. Now time for the fun part. We're gonna actually remove the cylinder head. All right, next in order is, let's pop the valve cover off. I should have done this when I bought the motor. I didn't even look on the oil cap. I have no idea what condition this cylinder head is in. And the rest of the motor looks pretty clean. There weren't any like crazy oil leaks or anything like that. Let's see what we got. Ah, okay. Not bad. It's not silver and shiny, but it's also not gummed up or anything. I would say this guy probably changes oil around like 7,000–8,000 miles. Everything looks in good shape. Nothing's broken. Cam looks has regular wear on it. Sweet. Let's pull this thing off. Alright, could also note on this engine, iron block, of course, all the new stuff is aluminum, but the head on this is aluminum, so it's pretty light, aside from the valve train that's in it, but I should be able to just pick her up. See if we can find some good holes. There she is. That's Interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna set this down because it's kind of... Huh. Wow. Hey, look at the... I don't think this thing's been run in a long time just by how dry it is. Usually oil will be like pouring out of the cylinder head. The valves don't look bad. Look at the flaky. Look at these spark plugs. These spark plugs are... Holy crap. That is interesting. Get a gasket off of it. I'm wondering if this thing had a failed head gasket, because these are where the head bolts go, and that's the coolant jacket right next to it, but none of them look like they've magically connected. I would guess that this head's probably never been off this motor, but let's go take a look at the engine. So, I have never seen anything like this before. I really don't know. Judging by the cylinder head, I would say it's never been off the car. But judging at how clean the intake ports were, my guess is that all of this is carbon that was stuck in the intake ports, and then the guy used some sort of cleaner or something to blast it out, and so it obviously goes into the engine, but then it never can really come back out. Look at that, it's just like carbon. And the texture on it looks like it's the aluminum of the cylinder head. That is strange. Oh, we'll vacuum it out and spin it over. As long as the cylinder walls aren't scratched or anything, then there's really nothing to worry about, but that's pretty odd. I've never seen that. Alright, a quick break from the engine. Let's focus on the fun stuff here. We've got a big box of parts from Bimmer World. Red spark plug wires. The guy on the phone told me that you could get red or black, but he said the red added the most power. So, and there they are. Found them. Alright guys, it's finally time. We've probably got like 8 hours of this thing already. Got the block completely stripped down, got it completely degreased, and now it's time for some fresh paint. We've gone with black just because I feel like that looks right on the engine block, and you're not really going to see it anyways when it's in the car. So. Alright guys, paint is dry. Super happy with how this turned out. I think it's nice and shiny looking. So we're gonna continue cleaning things up. We've got to get the cylinder head to the machine shop so they can machine it and clean it for us, and then we'll start adding some of the race car goodies. So when we get that, we'll be back. We'll see you next time.